Hello, good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So, as you know, in the MMI, there's a lot of questions that have a component where you have to break bad news to a patient or to their family and so on. After this video, you will be excited when a question comes and you have to break bad news. Whether someone is dying, whether someone is having cancer, whether someone is losing some abilities to walk or to talk, or whether someone is losing a loved one. After this video, this will really make breaking bad news one of your strong points. So let's first start by talking about the spike structure. Spikes, it's a very popular structure. Even doctors and nurses use it in the healthcare field. Spikes, that's what you need to remember. So the first one is settings. So when you are trying to break bad news to the patient or to anyone, you need to find the right settings. You need to make sure you are not in the hallway and there's also people walking back and forth, that you are alone and you are in a private place, you are in a comfortable place, And then part of the settings is also to see that the right people are present. So if the patient is, let's say, a 70 years old person, do they have a spouse that must be there? Or do they have a child that take care of them? So having the right persons in the discussion is part of the settings. And also, finally, part of the setting is you. You are prepared with the information you need and have enough time to break the bad news. So that's the setting up for the bad news. The second thing is the perception. So you need to make sure that you have to ask the patient before you break the bad news, what is their perception about what's going on? What do they know so far? Because your approach would be very different if the patient is expecting to die, but they only have an infection disease, or if the opposite, if it was like the patient is expecting that they are totally fine, while in fact they have like a very problematic thing. So having the perception, understanding what the patient knows and what the patients want to know is important, and that is the next step in our structure, perception. The second thing is invitation, and this is just telling the patient that you have unfortunate news, you have important and sad news regarding their health that you want to discuss with them, and if they are okay with it, if they feel like right now is the right time. So it shows sensitivity to the patient and to their feelings, and to make them feel like they have a decision on when those bad news get to be delivered to them. So invitation. Finally, fourth thing is the knowledge, and this is where you go and you give the information right away. We as humans, we try to run away from uncomfortable situations sometimes, and we end up not telling the patient important information, or we end up sometimes building so much suspense, and the patient really wants to know, but we are like building suspense. So it's very important that you go, and once you reach the K, you tell them the information straight up. What is going on? You just tell to them directly, without sugarcoating, without making it sound worse or bad or better, just the way it is. So that's the knowledge part. Next is emotions. Once you broke the bad news to the patient, they are probably right now in a shock. And anything you say after breaking that bad news is probably just not, they are not registering anything after that. So it's very important to address their emotions, just allow some time for silence, and tell that when you are in the interview, say, what, I want to allow the patient to have some time to process those information. Maybe if they cry, I will just be silent. Maybe I will just give them some time, some space, and then if they need 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes to process those information, I will just be there to support them emotionally. So emotions, and then finally the S in the last spikes is the strategy. So now that they have the information, they know what's going on, it's important to give them the future plan, not just like leave them. So if we have a certain treatment, if we have what are our options, what are our next steps, and etc. So that comes after that. So this is the spikes, and this is very helpful when you break any bad news. And if you know those things, breaking bad news will actually be one of your strong points in the MMI. Now, here I want to move to this point, and those are very important and a very good spices that you can add on top of your answer. So the first thing, like I said, choose the right place and say that in your interview. I want to choose the right place for that. I want to make sure it's private, it's confidential, it's comfortable, and then book extra time. So sometimes you have an appointment at a family doctor, and it's usually 10 minutes or so or around that. So it's important if you are breaking bad news that you maybe need to book 15 minutes or maybe book two slots, so 20 minutes, because breaking bad news take time, and sometimes the patient is slow, sometimes the patient is struggling to comprehend what you're saying. Next thing is you need, like I said, to ask the patient if they want anyone present at the moment. Is there anyone? Maybe even put them on the line if or on the phone if that is necessary. So making sure the right people are present. And then another thing you can say in your interview to show empathy, right, is to offer them. Say you will offer the patient napkins if they need them. So this is also one of the ways. Instead of just saying I'll be compassionate, I'll be empathetic with the patient, you need to show the interviewer how you'll be empathetic and how you'll be passionate. And one of the ways is to just say something very simple, like offering napkins, making sure they are comfortable, allowing some space for them to cry. This shows empathy. And then I really love. I'll skip this point. I move to this point. So booking follow-up appointments. Once at the end, you have to tell them, look, I know you are right now maybe not still processing those information. If you have any questions right now, I will answer them. If not, let's book a follow-up appointment in 2 days or in 1 day or in a week. I will give you, so that give you some time to process the information and to have any questions, to write down any questions, and then we meet in a follow-up appointment and answer your questions. Because most likely, if you tell someone you have cancer, after the word cancer comes out of your mouth, they are not processing anything anymore. So you will need a follow-up appointment and you have to mention that in your interview. And then finally, this point is actually one of the best points you can mention in any difficult or emotionally charged station, which is breaking bad news and medicine. We as doctors, and I say it like this in the interview, we as doctors, we work very closely with death, and we see a lot of people when they come to us. They are not coming for a good reason. Most often, they are coming for a bad reason, and they have health complications and health problems. And we as doctors, we have this duty to guide our patients through those difficult times. We might not be able to alleviate all of the suffering that they will face, but the goal here is to minimize it as much as we can and to be a supporter, and they feel like there's someone with them from the second they start interacting with us till their last seconds or till they are treated with their disease. So it's an important part of our duties to know how to handle those difficult situations and to know how to support our patients throughout those difficult situations, because this is part of medicine. So something along those lines, and this is a very, very powerful ending for your answer that hopefully give the interviewer a good impression about you. So if you implement those things which work for any breaking bad news question, your station, this station will actually be one of your strong ones instead of being one of the ones you are scared to do or you are average with. I hope this helps, and have a great rest of your day.